Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nobukumalo and welcome back to my couch. I haven't been on this couch for a while, so I just thought for today let me just sit back here again. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and also please click the notification bell so that each time I upload a video you are notified. Let's get straight into it. So today I just want to help those who might have thought of visiting the UK, or those who stay in the UK who've thought of it, inviting friends or family over, with what you actually need to apply for a UK visitor or tourist visa. So I've done this process thrice. So I've invited 3 people to the UK. First, it was my husband. Just after we got married in 2020, he got the visa, he came. Then it was my mom, who was here recently also, and then thirdly my mother-in-law, who will be joining us, who will be coming to visit later in the year. So I have done this process 3 times and it has worked each time, so I'm hoping that it will work for you. First things first, I want to say that I think generally the visitor visa application process is a very straightforward one. They use what they call the TLS service. So if you search for the TLS service in your country, you'll be able to find where their application center is, and that's where you will get your biometrics done. But that is like literally the last stage of it. But everything else, the whole entire application is done online on their website, and I'll link down the application link down in the description box below. And then the process normally takes 3 weeks. During COVID times, now post-COVID, because they have a backlog, they will tell you that it takes 6 weeks. But when I invited my mom and my mother-in-law, both times it actually took 3 weeks. So it's a very fast and efficient process, and within 3 weeks you will know whether you got the visa or not. So what are the documents that you need to apply for a UK visitor visa? So obviously you will need your full original passport, that's neither here nor there, and any copy of any previous passports. And then you need a motivational letter written by yourself stating why you want to visit the UK. So for example, with my mom, she said, I have been invited by my daughter to attend her graduation ceremony on such a date, so I would like to go there to see the graduation and also to be there to see the place. When I invited my husband earlier, it was literally just to see me. So he just said, well, my wife is still a student, but I'd like to visit her, to spend time with her, and to see London and the UK. If you're employed, you will need an original employment letter from your employer stating that you are employed with them, and also stating that they've sort of like given you permission to go and when they expect you to come back. And basically, like, it's a show of good faith that, I know she's planning to go, she's not running away, she told me she wants to go, and I've given her permission to go, and she said she wants to be back on such and such a date. It needs to be on the letterhead of the company so that they know that it's authentic, and it needs to be signed. And then you also need original 6 months pay slips and original 6 months bank statements. Now let me clarify with these ones. So with my husband, he was sponsoring himself because I was a student then. So he submitted his 6 months pay slips, and he also submitted his 6 months bank statements. But with my mom, I was sponsoring her. I wrote her an invitation letter. On top of her motivational letter, I also wrote her an invitation letter saying I would like to invite my mom to come and visit. And I also stated in the invitation letter that I am going to cater for all her expenses, including flights, accommodation, and her upkeep whilst she's here. And then I said, please find attached my 6 months pay slips and my 6 months bank statements as evidence that I do have the funds to take care of her. So depending on whether you are just a tourist who is coming on your own, you provide your financial evidence. But if someone is inviting you and they're saying that they're going to pay for everything, then you will need a letter from them and also their bank statements. And then you also need a document that, proof of accommodation, where you're staying currently. And then in a case where someone is inviting you, like in my case, I gave proof of my accommodation. Since I had said I'm going to accommodate my mom, said please also find proof of my accommodation. This can be a utility bill or it can be a tenancy agreement, but generally I think they prefer a utility bill. So there are things like your internet bill or your electricity bill or your water bill or something like that. And then if you're being invited by someone, or if you are inviting someone, please make sure that you also hand over a copy of your passport if you're a foreigner like me, or a copy of your ID if you're not a British citizen. And if you're on a passport and a work visa like me, then you also need to hand over a copy of your biometric residence permit, because that's what shows that you have the right to live in the UK. So you give them your ID documents to your passport and your BRP, and also an invitation letter and your accommodation letter, proof of accommodation since you said you're going to accommodate them, and also your own financial evidence. And then a very, very important piece of information. You need letters from family and friends, right? Show of good faith. Letters from family and friends that are basically saying, we know Nobubele Kumalo, she is a good friend of ours, she works in such and such a place, and we are aware that she wants to go and, I don't know, visit London on holiday, or we are aware that she wants to go and see her sister in London or her friend in London, and we trust that she is going to come back. We have no reason to believe that she is going to go to the UK and not come back. If you need any, if you need anything from us, please contact us at ABCD. So you need at least, this is not set in stone, but I've done this thrice, and they say you need at least 5 letters. So letters from 5 trusted family and friends, and make sure it's a good mix. So for example, with my mom, she got a letter from my dad, her husband, and then my aunt, and then she got, I think, a letter from 3 of her friends. So this is basically to show that people know you, people trust you, you are a person, of good and regular standing, and that you can be trusted to visit the UK and come back. Please do not neglect this part. It's a very, very important part. So great, you've gathered all these documents. You are going to go onto the website, like I said, which I'll link below, and you're going to fill in your form. So it's a very, very extensive form. It's going to ask, for example, if you've ever been denied a visa for any other country. It's going to ask about where you've stayed in the past 5 years. It's going to ask about how much you earn per month and how much you are planning to spend in the UK, and whether you're sponsoring that yourself. It's going to ask for your parents, your parents' details, no matter how old you are. To ask for your parents' names. It will ask whether you have any other family in the UK. It will also ask whether you're employed and by who, your monthly expenditure generally, like how much you normally spend per month on your expenses, whether you have any other sources of income. So maybe you are employed and you're also a business person, to ask for that. And then to ask for the countries that you visited in the past 10 years. And for that, how a lot of us, especially who have from Zim, who visit South Africa and Botswana, maybe in and out for the past 10 years. What we've done in all instances where we apply is that we didn't list like each and every entry, but we kind of like listed the last entry for each country. So like the last time my mother-in-law visited South Africa, the last time she visited Zimbabwe, the last time she visited Botswana, and then you just keep it going. And then to also ask, the normal questions. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Have you ever been involved in terrorism and all that? So the important thing is to be very, very honest in your application, especially when they ask you whether you've been denied a visa before. So for example, in my husband's case, he had once been denied a visa to the United States. It was a study visa, and they just said that he didn't have enough funds for that. It's important that you declare that, because if you lie about it and they do their investigations and they find out that you've been denied a visa before, that will definitely count against you. And if they take the extreme measure, they can decide to like ban you from the UK, indefinitely. So even if you've tried to get a visitor visa for the UK before and you've been denied, just write it down and declare it and tell them why you were denied, and then trust the process and hope that it will happen well. So after you filled in your application form online, you will then be able to download the application form and also a checklist. This checklist will help you to make sure that you have all the supporting documents that I spoke about. And I think one other document that is important is evidence of your relationship to the person who is inviting you. So in the case of me inviting my mom, it was easy, my birth certificate. When I was inviting my mother-in-law, I put in my marriage certificate and my husband's birth certificate, so to like show the chain that I'm married to this guy and this guy is her daughter. So if you're inviting someone, it can be a friend, whatever, like just show evidence of your relationship. If it's a friend, you might have like maybe WhatsApp messages, or you might have pictures of you guys together, just something to just show that there's a genuine relationship between the two of you. That is a very important one. So you'll get your checklist, and then it will then take you to the website where you will then arrange for your biometrics and pay for your biometrics. And usually you will get an appointment within a short space of time. You go there, then you can pay for other assisted service where they will literally take all your physical documents and upload them for you, or you can upload your documents for yourself when you are doing the application online. So there's 2 options: to upload your documents online or to go with them physically to the application center, and they'll upload them for you. But there's a fee that is attached with assistance, just so you know. It's not free. So if you can just scan your documents and put them in there, the better. Just, yeah, do that. So how much does a visitor visa actually cost before we go any further? So a standard visitor visa, which is valid for 6 months, costs £100. And then a standard visitor visa for maybe medical reasons is £200, which is valid for 11 months. And then if you want a standard visitor visa for academics, it's £200 for 12 months. And then if you want, like, if you're a person who, I don't know, has business interests, or for whatever reason you need to be in and out of the UK, then you can apply for sort of like a longer term one. So there's a 2-year long term one, which is £376, but you can only stay for 6 months per visit over the 2 years. Then a 5-year long term one is £670, and a 10-year long term one is £837, but with all of them you can only stay for 6 months at a time. And then, so that is the application fee. And if, depending on where you're doing your biometrics, maybe you're doing it in another city, you might want to pay for courier services, then you can check with your local courier how much they charge for that. I know, for example, I normally use FedEx when I'm in Zimbabwe, and I've forgotten how much they charge. And then if you want an assisted service, which is for them to assist you with your documents, you can also pay for that. Unfortunately, I cannot give a figure for that because it differs from country to country. And then generally, how much would I budget, right? How much would I declare as the fee that I want to spend, or spend on my trip? I would say for your flights, right, I would budget, give or take, about £500 for a return ticket. And then for accommodation and food and shopping and all that, I'll just put a round figure of maybe, let's say, 500 or £1,000. And why I'm telling you this is because it's important for whoever is showing evidence of funds. So if you're saying you're going to support yourself, you need to be able to show that you have that much money in your bank account. There is no minimum amount that is required to be in your bank account when you're applying for the visa. But it's important that if you're going to say you're going to spend £1,000 or £1,500, if you're sponsoring yourself, or your sponsor has funds that show that they can actually afford that. So I think, to be safe, I would basically, in my form, write that I want to spend about £1,000 to £1,500, and then just make sure that you have that. But yeah, you can get a good ticket at £500, and then the rest is really up to you. If you have friends accommodating you, that is perfect, that is up to you. And then shopping, you can either be here to shop till you drop, or you can be here to see the place. It's entirely up to you. The process is a very simple one. There's no interview when you get there. So you get there and you give them your documents, and then they will take you to the room where you do your biometrics. And yeah, it's literally that simple. There is no interview about like, why do you want to go, or anything like that. It's all decided based on the papers. And I think generally I would say it's a very good and a fast and easy process. And the 3 people that I've successfully invited to the UK who've gotten visas have not had any problems. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions about any parts of the process, if you have any concerns, please just drop your questions in the comment section below, and I'll try by all means to engage with you and to answer all your questions. But yeah, this is generally what you need to apply for a visitor visa. Please go out there and apply for the visitor visa. It's not that expensive. Come and see the UK, especially now in the summer. It's budding, it's beautiful, it's lovely. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and do all the things to make things to be done. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.